Right, let's turn our attention now back to the top stories of the day. After Kanimozhi was named in that charge sheet today, questions as to why her stepmother was actually not named and also what the next steps in the investigation are. Joining us right here in the studio, we have Dr. Subramaniam Swamy, President of the Janata Party, who's been really leading a lot of the campaign in this particular case, certainly in court. Srinath Mishra, former Director of the CBI, joining us as well. And I'm going to be asking you about the process which will be followed. We're also being joined by Renuka Chaudhary, Senior Congress Leader. Thanks, ma'am, for joining us, and Chandan Mitra, BJP spokesperson, with us as well. Renuka, why don't I just start by asking you, there has been some action now taken by the CBI in this particular case. There are going to be questions of whether the Congress party and others linked on the CBI in the last minutes to make sure that the wife of Karunanidhi, for example, is left out. Till 2 days back, the CBI was indicating she's going to be named in the charge sheet. Now today, Dayalu Ammal is not there.
Ask the CBI. Because I don't think it's in any way right for us to talk to the CBI about filing or not filing or whatever. They're old enough and autonomous enough to tell us. So go and ask them.
Old enough to do it, okay. So you're laughing at that. Ask the CBI, is that the appropriate response, or do you think they have
you are actually...
why would we bother to say anything like that?
Okay, why would you...
When we have said that we should go ahead and there's an inquiry and an investigation going on, why would we say either way, please?
Why would you say it either way? I'll tell you why you would say it. If you're saying why would you lean on the CBI, it's very obvious why you would lean on the CBI. The DMK supports you. DMK support goes, you're suddenly dependent on either Mayawati or Mulayam Singh Yadav, and you may not particularly relish either of those options.
Vikram, you have all the answers.
Well, you asked me a question, I gave you the answer. You said, why would we do it? I'm telling you why you would do it.
These are fabulous assumptions. They're fabulous. They'd make for a good movie. But we in the Congress are not involved. We just want to let the investigation carry on. Okay. And justice has to be brought. Nobody is above law. That's what we've said, and we stand by that.
Okay. Let me get Subramaniam Swamy in.
Well, first of all, if it was true, then it would be contempt of court, because the court has made it, Supreme Court has made
what was true, by the way?
That Congress prevailed upon the CBI not to include her name in the list. Because the Supreme Court has made it very clear, not once but 4 times, that CBI is not to listen to anybody except the court. And the court, they have to report. So therefore, if this was done, it means the CBI and the Congress entered into a conspiracy. It's a very serious matter. I frankly think whether she's in it, in the charge sheet or not, it's immaterial. Because essentially, the Kalaignar TV is being treated as an entity which is an accused, and therefore all the directors are anyway culpable.
All right. Let me just turn to you, sir. I know every time the CBI does anything, people say there's a political motive behind it or not behind it. Now, what they really said in this case is she only speaks Tamil. She may not have been part of any conspiracy. Do you think what the CBI has done is fair enough? And they've now finally, after so many months, gone after Mr. Kalmadi. They said we were waiting for evidence. Now we've got evidence. We've proceeded against him. Is that fair enough, or has the CBI to some extent been too slow in both these cases?
You see, in such cases, one has to take a lot of precautions, and any precipitatory action would not be fair. It's very easy to damage somebody's reputation. It's virtually impossible to restore it. So therefore, the investigation agency has to collect evidence as well as to analyze and sift it.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone, fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.